السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. يا أهلا وسهلا بأفخم وأغلى متابعين ومستمعين في العالم، متابعين قناة وموقع عرب جي تي. تحياتي لجميع المستمعين الكرام على جميع منصات البودكاست. حلقة جديدة من برنامج دردشة بزنس. اليوم معنا ضيف مميز جدا بالشركة اللي هو حاليا المدير التنفيذي لها، وبنفس الوقت مميز جدا بالتاريخ الطويل العريق والشركات العريقة اللي كان له بصمة رئيسية فيها. معنا اليوم السيد مايكل ليتس, CEO of McLaren Automotive. Mr. Michael, thank you very much. Thank you for accepting our interview invitation, and thank you for having us here today. And welcome to Dubai. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well. Thank you for coming over to the interview, and thank you for having me.
It's our great pleasure. So let me immediately start with the topic, since our fans and followers are petrol heads, and we were discussing this literally a minute before rolling. First thing first, electrifications and McLaren. How do you view it? How do you see the electrifications and the coming models?
So we have a clear strategy regarding motor propulsion, where we want to go. The main focus in the future will be hybridization, because we think this is a perfect combination of the best of two worlds. One is the internal combustion engine, and the other one is electrification. So if you look at Datura, you can see we are able to create very nimble, very light cars on the one side, but very performing and very efficient cars like Datura. We believe that there is still a future for the internal combustion engine, also the pure internal combustion engine. Yesterday we launched our latest and greatest product, the 750S, pure IC V8 turbocharged engine, 750 PS and 800 Newton meters, a compact package of emotions and performance. And we think this is still something we should offer also in the future for our customers. Customers love that car. And then electrification. Electrification is a big opportunity. I think it's a great technology. But if we talk about supercars, right now, this technology is not yet ready. What do I mean with that? If we would do a supercar today with the power-weight ratio we need, with the range we need, it would weigh 2,200 kilograms. And we think this is not a McLaren, this is not a supercar, right? We don't want to do a car with 2 tons and 2,000 horsepower. We want to do a car like the 750, 1,400, 1,500 kilograms, and then a reasonable power-weight ratio that people can have a nimble car with the right and reasonable range, even if you push it on the track and you don't have to come back after 10 minutes and have to wait 30 minutes to get recharged your car. So there is a potential. There are many, many positive aspects of electrification and of BEV technology, battery technology. Right now, for supercars, not mature, not ready. And I don't expect that before of the end of the decade. And let me add one thing to this, because you said petrol heads and so on. Petrol heads for me is nothing old or old-fashioned or something. It's enthusiasm for good cars and supercars. And this is something emotional. This is not only about performance and numbers. I'm pretty sure you could, in theory, maybe even earlier than I said before, create a supercar or a super performing car with a battery technology. But what about the emotions? It's not about numbers, right? If you drive the 750S, there's a sound. By the way, we worked a lot on the sound on this car, and having the sound and the connection between the sound and your ear and the perceived acceleration, not 0 to 200, but the perceived, your stomach, connect your ear with your stomach, and then you feel all this power and this acceleration of the car. This is what is engagement, and then you feel with the steering and all that other stuff, you feel engaged and connected to the car. This is about supercars. It's not only about numbers, also numbers and performance, but thrilling moments, acceleration, and engagement.
It's an interesting timing for McLaren. Last night I've asked my followers a very simple question. what do you want me to ask Mr. Michael? And I stopped counting the number of people who asked about McLaren SUV. I know that you've been answering this question for quite some while, but since you're now on top of everything on McLaren, so I want to hear more of your perspective on the SUV.
In general, we are very open to this discussion and to understand and explore new segments for McLaren brand. Okay, so this is positive, and you can look at my pedigree. I'm not.
We will discuss it in a bit.
So I'm not scared about that. I'm not concerned about that. But I think we are a supercar brand, and the first thing we have to do is to prepare our future in our core segment, and these are supercars. Okay, as a company, we are in a transformation and transition process. Okay, we have to prepare our future. As I said, the main focus, the main volume of our fleet will be in the future hybrid. So we have to bring on the way our future lineup. If we have done, I always call it, if we have done our homework, we can explore easily what we can do on top. And then maybe SUV is an opportunity.
When you're talking about doing homework, how long it will take to do this homework? Approximately.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to specify that, but it's definitely, it will take a couple of years, something like that, and then, I mean, the innovation cycles in automotive are quite important, right? To develop a car, you need 4 years, 4.5 years, depends.
To develop one single car. So 750.
A new model.
New model.
Yeah, it depends how much content you bring into it, how much technologies you bring into it. For us, doing an SUV definitely would be something important. But it doesn't have to be an SUV, right? I always saying we should, on the one hand side, we want to have something which is totally new, to create a new customer base and to attract more people to our brand. So this is one point. So the farther it is away from the supercars, the better it is. No cannibalization, the easier it is. On the other hand side, the farther away it is, the less technical synergies you have, and you have to think also about that. So, but anyway, we have good ideas what we want to do.
How do you view the coming 10 years for a supercars manufacturer, such as McLaren? How do you view, with all the changes that's taking place, with the different direction that each group is taking, for such, I don't want to call it a small group, but you guys are, compared to your competitors, you're in a position where there must be a very strong strategy coming through for McLaren. Can you give us a little bit of a glimpse of this strategy?
So definitely, automotive industry is in a transformation. We are part of this transformation, and we have a special role in that. I think that small volume manufacturer, and especially supercar manufacturer, has an important role to innovate. We can't be the first, especially if you talk about disruptive technologies, like you can talk about EV cars, you can talk about ADAS. We can't be the first on that. But if the technology has a certain readiness, a certain matureness, we take these technologies and we push them to new borders. We go beyond the limits. So companies like McLaren, I think, are very, very important for not only for the customers, also for the industry and the society itself. There's one prerequisite we have to deliver from our side, and this is embracing innovation, embracing technologies. And this is something which we have in our core. You know, we are the only car manufacturer who has, for all its cars, a carbon fiber top. And if you talk about the transformation, I actually think that we have a very good context, a very good preparation for these new technologies, because lightweight and aerodynamics and vehicle dynamics will be more important in the future, and this is our core. We are the best in that, and so I'm very positive about our future. But again, We have to invest in technologies, we have to embrace innovations, and we have a clear plan how our technology roadmap looks like and how this is linked to a lineup of the future.
There was a lot of collaboration and agreements between McLaren Group and BMW. Where does this synergy stand now with such a German group?
It's important, we are open for collaborations, but this is nothing which is happening right now. It wouldn't be confidential if I share this information right now with the public. We are open for that. Again, it is important to understand what is the right partner. Okay, a right partner on the one hand side, we want to have our, let me say, independency. We want to stay nimble. We want to focus on our product DNA, on performance and engagement. This is something which is a core of the brand, and we can't dilute it for any partnership. On the other hand side, we want to have technological and financial synergies if we would go for a partnership. So if we go to a partnership, these two elements have to be given, otherwise it doesn't make sense. And there have been talks, and there will be talks. This brand is fantastic. Many people are interested in this brand, but again, we can't dilute or compromise in any way our DNA and our brand.
When we look at McLaren as a company, I want to put aside the motorsport activities, the Formula One. We will get to that. But as a company itself, where does the Middle East or the GCC, the region, comes along compared to the rest of the world? Especially now today, we're interviewing you in the largest McLaren showroom globally.
Yeah.
The opening took place last night with a new dealership. Saudi Arabia, I know that you guys are exploring new partnership, I believe, and I want to hear more. I want to hear more your elaboration on that. What does the GCC and the Middle East means for McLaren?
You mentioned we just opened yesterday the biggest McLaren showroom in the world here in Dubai with our partner El Nabuda. So this is very important for us. This is a big moment for us, and we believe strongly in the growth of the GCC region. And definitely Dubai is an important hotspot, let me say, for this region, but there will be other initiatives and projects we will launch in this region. For us, it's a big opportunity to be here. We have to build up here. That's the reason why we choose a very strong and a partner with a high reputation. I think this will ensure and guarantee our future here. We can do much more than we do today. This is also, let me say, the focus for our future here.
Where does the Middle East rank in terms of sales and volume?
It's about 2% of our worldwide volume, but I think we can, again,
what's the number one market?
The number one market is United States.
United States. Number two is Europe?
It's Euro, but if you take in Europe single markets, Europe, but also Japan is very strong. Japan is a very strong supercar market, and for us also very strong. UK, our home market, is very strong. Germany is very strong. So these are the strongest markets. But I'm totally convinced we can get in the same numbers long term here in JCC like we do in single markets like in Europe.
We spoke about the group, we spoke about electrifications. Before going into the motorsport, can we go back a little bit with time? And I was reading your biography. You've worked for years with Porsche. You've worked for years with Ferrari. Can we give the audience, the listeners, the viewers, a little bit of like a history of Mr. Michael and your accomplishment that took place through the years? What brought you to McLaren at this timing, in this transitional period of time, and the projects, the interesting projects that you've been working on through the years?
So I'm an engineer with a technical background. I love cars. From my childhood on, I love high speed. acceleration and...
You had a dream one day to be a racer?
No.
No.
No, my dream was actually to be a designer.
Ah.
And I made a lot of drawings when I was young, but I had to recognize I don't have enough talent to do that. And so I looked for what else can you do to get in touch with automotive industry and so on. And so engineering, mechanical engineering was then the natural thing and was also quite in line with my talents. So I studied and made it a doctorate or something like a PhD in Germany. And I was always a car enthusiast. I went then to Porsche for 13 years. I had a fantastic time there, great career. At the end, I was responsible for the SUVs, the Macan and the Cayenne. Then I was 8 years in Italy with Ferrari, again, fantastic time, a lot of growth, supercars, Porsche, where all these cars, a big growth story we created there, and I was happy to contribute as a Chief Technology Officer to this. And now I think in McLaren I have the most exciting and most challenging job in the car industry maybe. So I love to work in a very compact organization. We are a small company if you compare us with others, right? But I like that a lot because you have a strong impact on the organization. You see immediately the result of your work, positive and negative. You get strong feedback. You are in contact with the whole organization. We are about 2,500 people. So everybody knows me. I can't know everybody, but I know many, many people. And what is nice and beautiful in this compact organization, everybody counts. Everybody has to bring more into the company to work, more competence, more commitment, more engagement. But everybody counts. There's nobody you can say he's only a number in a system. Everybody counts as an employer, as a worker, as a human being.
If we go back with time, with Porsche, Ferrari, and today with McLaren, three amazing brands. We can't say anything. It's like top.
Always getting better.
Always getting better. I want you to name one car model that if you go back with time, you're feeling so proud that you were part of this team who worked on this specific model.
I can't say that.
One car, one model. Like you, I know that you've worked really hard on the Porsche Cayenne. When Porsche wanted to change they wanted to discover the whole SUV lineup. Yeah. And I don't know about your contribution with Ferrari around the Persangue also, because I know that it will take minimum, as you've mentioned, 4.5 years to 5 years and with Italian, you need a couple of years to convince them to go to that path. So from all the other models, like a car, when you see it on the road, you feel like, I'm so glad that I was one of the teams who worked on that.
Let me point out maybe two cars. One is definitely the Panamera. I was involved with a very small and young team in Porsche in the ideation phase of the Panamera, so in the early beginning, and actually it wasn't a focus at those times of the company. Only little management attention, because other stuff was going around, the launch of the Cayenne and so on. And it was a really young team, and we were, how can I say that, underdogs, okay? And all of these teams, 8 to 10 people, have done a great career in the industry, in Porsche and outside of Porsche. And this is something I'm very proud of, that what we created there. Then gaining the attention of the management, getting the approval for this important program was really, really exciting.
When you go back with time, since you've seen the German school, and you're German, so you totally understand how the German managerial school is running for a big group like like Porsche, and then you moved to Italy to work with the Italian, and also an amazing history behind the company, a lot of heritage with Ferrari. And then now you're moving to England to work with an English company that has a lot of roots, a brand that it's been running for years now, and it's part of the motorsport DNA of UK in general. How do you view working with Germans, Italian, English?
Obviously, this is you are generalizing if you talk about culture, because every individual is different. But what you can see, the German management culture is very structured. Okay, you have processes, you have a strong organization, and within this organization you are managing programs, and so on. So very structured, very good in avoiding problem, very professional, very efficient, very productive. From my experience in Italy, which is not complete, but a certain 8 years I made there, very focused, very creative, very adaptive, the best in problem solving. So if there's a crisis,
Ferrari.
Italians, I think, in general, if there's a crisis, they group together and they find a way out of it. Impressive, with high commitment and high personal engagement. So for me, it was impressive to see how huge a personal engagement of every individual can be in a company. So highly emotional.
Italian.
Yeah. And what is impressive in UK is this strong connection to motorsports. That McLaren has the lightest cars, the aerodynamically best cars. This is derived by this experience, and it helps us a lot in McLaren that we are very close with our friends from racing. But you can see that in the engineering culture of people, that the
DNA.
it's in the DNA, it's in the blood, to optimize every screw, every bolt in a car to make it lighter and more performing than anything else.
With Porsche, Ferrari, and the different cultures and the way of managerials, we've seen the path that Porsche took in the past few years with the IPO and the whole Volkswagen group, how they took Porsche on a side and want to do some experiment in a different path that the group is running. Same goes with Ferrari compared to the Stellantis group. They went into a full IPO. Is it something, when you hear about IPO of Porsche, IPO of Ferrari, is it something that might be helpful for a small brand, focused brand like McLaren?
So an IPO right now is not on the table. We are running a recapitalization phase right now. We have a very complicated capital structure. We want to simplify that, and related to that, we want also to simplify our governance. We think this is important to prepare ourselves for the future, to enable our shareholders to put more money and more funding in our company. You know, automotive business is very capital intensive, so we have a clear plan. We have investments to do, and the recapitalization is the first step, and the process we are running right now. An IPO is not on the table. We have to get profitable with our business. We have to be successful with our products like we are today. And when we have all this sorted out, then maybe in the future there can be other discussions, but right now it's not on the table.
With the investors, how is the relation with the investors? They're looking at McLaren as they urge for profitability now, or they're looking for build a brand, strengthen the brand awareness, the brand recognition?
So we are really happy with our investors, especially Motorsport. I think they have the right vision on the business. They are a long-term investor. That doesn't mean they don't. Obviously, they care also about profitability and financial results. And by the way, also us and especially me. I think this is a very important element for a successful brand, to be profitable and have a sufficient sustainable business. But our investors have a long-term interest. They are investing. They give us a funding. We need to invest in our business plan. So we are more than happy. We feel really supported strongly by our investors.
How do you view McLaren Formula One team, and how do you view the future of the motorsport for a brand like McLaren?
I think motorsport for our brand is very important, and I think the work Zach and Andrea Stella are doing on the Formula One team is fantastic. I mean, if you imagine or remember where we were at the beginning of the season
and what happened,
and they had a clear vision from the beginning, and everybody, so they have a high, let me say, credibility. So I think this is fantastic, and this gives us obviously also a lot of hope for the future. I'm working very, very strongly together with Zach. We have a good relationship. We are thinking about common initiatives, not only on the marketing side. We have created a little team in the Formula One team, which we use together, that we have this know-how transfer from Formula One to our race cars, that we can continue doing such amazing and outstanding cars. And motorsport for us is very important, and you will see also in the next days and hopefully weeks and then years some important messages and news from us, because I think motorsport helps us to market and to promote our cars and showing how fast and quick they are on the one hand side, and on the other hand side how reliable they are, and to demonstrate our technological capability. So it's in our blood. And one point, I think this is also a differentiator between McLaren and all the other supercar makers. I think you find in no other road car like McLaren so much racing DNA. I always say we are the only racing company who is building cars. All the others are car makers that are also racing. It's a big difference. And if you look in my team, I have so many people that have worked in Formula One who have this spirit. I just counted for the future ultimate car. We are running a program, and the team who is running this program in total have won more than 40 world championships. So they worked were involved in world championships. Fantastic number, fantastic. Nobody can do that. And as I said, you see that this engineering mindset pushes technologies to the boundary.
Amazing. I would like to thank you for your time for the day. I know you have a very busy schedule, and you gave us this amazing opportunity to meet you and have this one-to-one discussion. Thank you very much, Mr. Michael. مشاهدينا ومستمعينا الكرام، مقابلة سريعة، يعني شفتوا كمية استعراض المعلومات وشخص مهم جدا بعالم السيارات، وشفتوا الكارير اللي مر فيها خلال السنين الماضية. أتمنى تكون المقابلة أعجبتكم. لا تنسوا تشتركوا بقناة ArabGT Podcast لتتابعونا أول بأول بمقابلات حصرية، ولا تنسوا كمان برنامج دردشة الأسبوعي معي أنا وصهيب وكريم. شكرا لكم، شكرا لمشاهدتكم. السلام عليكم.